The dark side of competitive Valorant. Now, this isn't drama like other stuff. This is who in the Valorant Tier 2 community is ruining the competitive integrity by throwing games, fixing games, and taking paychecks to fix those games.
The Tier 2 Valorant scene has been corrupted, rotten to the core. Underground gambling rings are targeting vulnerable, inexperienced, desperate.
Okay, right off rip, Sean Garris, your audio mixing, atrocious. It is atrocious. This is the quietest video I've ever heard in my life. I don't know how to make it louder.
To cheat. They're offering sometimes literal children, 16-year-olds.
This is the quietest damn video I've ever seen in my life. It's got to be balanced.
Life-changing money, tens of thousands of dollars for a single game, just to throw a single game. While these people are also profiting hundreds of thousands of dollars. Depending on how long this has gone on for, or
fix the sound. Okay, yeah, I got you. Actually, I can't do it.
Or how far it truly extends, it's likely to be millions by this point. This is literally the kind of scandal that could kill competitive gaming in Valorant. It started when I investigated 2 people.
Okay,
Let's zoom out for a quick second. For those of you who don't follow professional competitive Valorant.
I'm gonna skip this. We know how it works, right? Basically, this impacts the scene that we have been in for 3 years now. Okay, what started as Moist Moguls and became MXS and is now Shopify Rebellion is the league that is impacted. Our Challengers League. Tier 2 Valorant is what it's often called. The league which can ascend to Pro Valorant. So Pro Valorant is not the one being impacted here, right? Sentinels, Liquid, whatever. The Guard, they're not the ones who are throwing matches, fixing matches on Riot stage. The ones that are accused of fixing matches are Tier 2 because that's all done usually online from people's homes without organizations. A lot of the time, it's individuals, people without salaries. So the money is a lot more valuable than losing the opportunity to compete, right? If you're doing the math equation. If you're a pro Valorant player, you're getting paid 6 figures to play your favorite video game by an organization. It's not worth it to throw games for 5 figures. The math doesn't math there. There's no incentive, putting morals aside. Tier 2, not the same. They're not getting paid 6 figures. They're doing this part-time alongside being a college student, working a regular job, or whatever it is. Okay, so there's some incentive to throw. It's not excusing it, of course. But there's incentive, and when incentive exists, it breeds malfeasance.
This is my good old friend Bray, aka One of One Bray, aka Bray on Chain. He is the guy that's reaching out to everyone, and this right here, this is what his Twitter looked like.
Hello, Paul.
Well, at least for last week, before he deleted a lot of the incriminating evidence. He follows pretty much everyone in the Tier 2 scene. You can only see about 50 people deep. You can even see, several that I found that were following back before people started realizing that I was onto this whole thing.
So Bray is the match fixer, all right? And he's the one who is connecting gamblers, money, and pro players throwing.
These days, you're not going to see any of that, right? It's pretty much all wiped clean. Thanks to some very amazing people.
And his pinned tweet is, "I have no sympathy for people who don't work hard. I don't care if you live or die." Okay. That's got to be just like the cringiest pin tweet I've ever seen in my life.
That reached out to me, though. Behind the scenes, we actually have evidence.
This guy sees a Mark Wahlberg getting up at 4 a.m. video, going into ice bathwater, gets a rock hard. Because Marky Mark works hard. Marky Mark works hard.
Bray reaching out to at least 4 different players to fix matches. So Teague, who currently plays for Landor, and Practo, who's on Burger Boys, have actually helped me quite a bit in this investigation. And they deserve all the praise in the world for doing that. I'm really hoping the community takes care of these too. I'm working with them actively to craft conversations in their DMs. And these are how our conversations with Bray went.
So Sean has employed the help of 2 pro players to act as moles, right? One from Burger Boys. I forget the name of the other one. I guess the guy's name is Teague. And they are going to feign wanting to throw matches to see how it works.
So here you can see, this is how Bray opened up the conversation with Practo, right? Showing and flaunting these Burger Boys bets against Blue Otter. Drops all 3 of the 10 grand bets for a 2-0 for Burger Boys to beat Blue Otter. And says, thank you, Practo. Love you. And then Practo says, jokingly back, I got you, bro. This time only, though. This is Practo joking completely, by the way, up top. And then that's when Bray takes over and says, yo, Practo, you got Discord? Add me, twin. I'm always here. Just saying, you can make a mil at 19. Yo, Teague, let's make 100K each in your next game. What's your Discord? I got 20K for you. Imagine you're one of these young kids, you don't have a salary, and this gem enters. From there, he'll actually take it over to Discord, where you can see Bray starts off, sup G, Landor have any games coming up? Maybe Challenge is kind of dead at the moment with playoffs starting soon, so we don't have any VCL matches till July. Split 3, July 4, right? What I do is pay.
Here's what always confuses me about this. Who is gambling $100,000 on a challengers match? Because for this to work, there must be a greater fool being duped. If it's rigged, but that's not how betting works. You can't bet $100,000, right? I don't think there's a casino here that has a line that's paying it out. Somebody has to be on the other side of the bet. But is there 100,000 on the other side of the bet? Like, how does that work?
Challenger players. For example, I'll send a bet slip real quick. Hold on. So when you have a close game, for example, you're playing a good team, I'll pay you 20K to underperform. 10 before the game and 10 after the game. If the odds are good, I can get you 30 for a game. I don't want to get cut for playing poorly since I did shit last split. But is there any way to do it and win? And Bray says, we have streamer accounts on multiple sports books. So that's how we can bet 6 figures plus on challenger games.
I don't know what that means.
And that's the secret sauce right there. And that's a big takeaway is these streamer accounts on the betting sites are how these guys are capable of even dropping bets this big on challenger games.
What does that mean? What's a streamer account? So like if I, Ludwig, the streamer, want to make a bet, I have the ability to make larger bets. Is that it?
And Bray says, nah, LOL, to Teague's message.
But that still wouldn't change the necessity for somebody to be betting on the other side of the result.
But if it's like a close game 50-50 and you're playing a good team, it wouldn't look crazy if you had an unlucky game, you feel me? Or just to get Teague one-tapped on their eco round. Yeah, I get what you mean. Like subtle shit. That makes a difference in the round, but not to most watching it. Yeah, you know what I mean. Can bet maps too. So if you play bad for one map, or I just said throw an eco round accidentally on map 1, so you could just shit the bed one map and still win and make money? And Bray says, yes, we should lock in for real. We will speak more about numbers and shit.
The way Bray talks pisses me off, bro. We should lock in when it's like, yeah, dude, throw the game so I can make fucking $100,000. We should lock in for real here. I'm going to press 2 buttons. We need to lock in on this.
About maps, when odds come out for your games, everything makes sense now. There were some crazy upsets this split. Motherfuckers were getting their bags.
He sounds very fake. I mean, I think I see a lot of people like this in life. And actually, I would argue financial circumstances are irrelevant to this breed of person. But there are some people who are so about their bread, they just get lost in it. They will die, like we all will, only caring about how much money they have. But when you die, the money you can't keep. So we should probably spend it all because the pain isn't cheap.
And Bray goes,
Preach.
yeah, bro. Fucking like Prosperity Esports in Burger Boys and shit. Bam.
Okay. Everything makes sense now. There's some crazy upsets that this split. Yeah, bro. Prosperity and Burger Boys were possibly throwing.
Just like that. 2 of them found. Thank you so much, Bray. Bray on May 14th to Teague. It's ready for you when you want it. This guy literally put Teague's wallet and 20 grand ready to send to Teague. And this is what he's constantly enticing
Dangling
you,
the
right?
carrot.
He's not leaving these leads dead. And you can see, yeah, I understand. I work with a few Valorant players at the moment. And this is on May 1st.
I think all I care about is who he's working with, which teams they were. Because here's the thing. That just said Burger Boys, right? If you guys don't know, Challengers is currently in playoffs. Do you want to know who's in the upper finals of playoffs? Burger Boys. So, like, if he's claiming Burger Boys was a part of this, when, who, you know what I'm saying?
I hid the team for privacy reasons, but let me know if you want to run up a fucking bag together. And he flaunts this right here bet. Holy shit. The payout for this, $230,188.10. This guy placed a bet not on the series, but on map 2.
Who is taking the other side of this bet? Unless the casino is acting as the house and paying out regardless. Is the casino coming up with a line here? That just seems like so much work on the casino's end. That's how a sportsbook works. I mean, I guess. But like, I hear that people are doing ranked game bets. So are you telling me the casino is coming up with a line for a ranked game? Like, that seems unlikely. This is not the same as like a fucking NBA game. It's exactly the same. Sorry. It's brain dead from a casino's perspective because the amount of information they have is so much smaller than an NBA game. So their lines are way less accurate. To the point where individuals can have controls on the outcome and maybe heighten their chances of success in a bet like we are watching right now. Says who? I would assume Bray. I would assume the guy who made $230,000 from the casino would say this. Because you know what's not possible is making this same exact bet, but for game 2 of the NBA Finals. So I would assume Bray would be on my side with this. Me and Bray, bro, ride or die.
Team was winning 5-3. That's how you read this. So he's going to get 1.72 times what this number is, which is what he staked up. And he's betting at a time of the series where it was 1-0, the second map, and the score was 5-3. And you can see, do you know anyone else that would be interested? I'll cut you in profit, obviously. I mean, it doesn't even have to be that the specific person's doing it. You just have to refer a friend. You get a signing bonus. Everything is anonymous, and you will make minimum 5 figures per game. Please delete messages. Whenever you want to be driving a Lambo.
I hate the way this guy talks so much. I hate the way this guy talks deeply within my heart, man. God, he talks so... I just realized his name is Bray Crypto NFT Group. I just read the full name. I was just reading the Bray part. I missed the Crypto NFT Group.
You know the guy to go to. And then he hits him up again on the 19th. I am recording this on the 21st. This guy is still messaging people. And this is regarding the playoffs of North American Challengers. Even though he knows I know. He knows I know. He literally has a clip talking about me to my players. He's playing ranked to this day on Riot Game servers.
Yo, Paint, how do you feel about the current stage of
Let's end our misery.
I think, honestly, it's in a really bad state.
Sean Garris thinks the same thing.
But I think I can understand people's reasonings behind what they do. Because it was already in a bad state beforehand.
I'm really helping the community.
He's offering $50,000 for this game.
You know what's interesting is this is happening after Sean said that there are people throwing. So this guy doesn't give a fuck. I think he's under the impression that there's no comeuppance coming for him. And he might be right about it. Because what authority is going to step in? It's like crypto gambling is about as unregulated as it can be. Riot Games has made basically no attempt or effort to step in. You know, worst case, you get your, ranked account banned. Oh, no. And it seems like the casino doesn't give a fuck either.
40,000 guaranteed. $40,000 to lose map 1. And I'm going to bet Burger Boys money line for 20K. Just for fun. Just for fun, though. Just for funsies. When down 1-0. And he does this to change the odds, right? Those live odds, you can bet live in the game. That's how sinister this really is. Let me know ASAP. And Practo responds shortly after. I'm good.
I'm good. Thanks for the offer, though.
Thanks for the offer, though. And you can see as the conversation progresses here, if the players get a little finicky, they get worried. Bray literally tells them, delete all these messages. You don't need to keep this here. Let's move our messages to Telegram. No one's gonna catch us there. This is the message that you'll see a lot. Everything's going on is crazy right now. Let's move combos to Telegram. So he's moving
TG. I'm not a Telegram head. Is that the right vernacular? What's your TG, bro? I feel like it's not. Is it normal to have a Telegram? I don't have a Telegram. I don't know if that's weird for me. Chat, press 1 if you got a Telegram. To be fair, I don't even got a Snapchat, so I could also be a boomer on this. It seems like a good amount of people have a Telegram. Actually, hella people have Telegrams. I use it for military operations, doxed.
everything to Telegram, and this is May 16th.
Okay, well, don't say there's a lot of sex traffickers on there and everyone in my chat is pressing 1. It's kind of... that doesn't feel good for me.
Just days after Riot started their investigation. And this is what I was fearful of. The second these guys know that you're onto them, whoop, everything is gone. Nothing is left. No proof of anything. And if you didn't record it,
awesome.
You're too late. And these people are a little bit scared, right? If I get caught doing this, I'm going to lose my livelihood. You know, I could lose all of this time I sunk in. So you're worried about getting leaked? Just DM me on Telegram, this encrypted peer-to-peer chat messaging program where, you know...
Dude, this guy sucks. This guy sucks, man. Young, rich, and successful. Is that shit an NFT profile picture too? This shit sucks.
We can talk there about throwing this game and cryptocurrency and how
Is Telegram the one that got hacked from all the White House people from Pete Hegseth? Is that Telegram? That was Signal. Okay, that's my bad. Signal.
It could be. You know, it is very difficult to catch this.
So it wasn't hacked? Wait, how did it leak? They added a random person. Being the Signal PR representative and having to be like, no, the Secretary of Defense was not hacked. Our site is good. He just accidentally added a random person. We hope he continues to use their service. They added a journalist and it happened twice. Yeah, that's beast. That's beast, man. They're going to keep us safe though, man.
Just because the Discord messages are empty doesn't mean anything to me, truthfully. I mean, I've seen it back in the eye by Power days.
Love this goddamn country. God bless.
You know,
God
the
bless.
players denied it for months and months and months, and you know, dragged the community through the mud. And it wasn't until a leaked text message from an ex-girlfriend where it all came crumbling down. It's hard to believe that a lot of these people just had conversations die out when I see how
it's not an NFT. It's Milady. It's the best NFT. Yeah, but I don't know, man. Someone tell me that they have the best NFT doesn't really do shit for me. Like, because I think all NFTs are unequivocally lame. You know what I'm saying? So if someone's like, yo, I actually have the finest smegma. I really took the cheese from the penis, from the best penis in the world. I have the best smegma collection. I wouldn't be like, oh, sick. You know, it's not going to change things for me because I think all smegma is gross. In the same way with NFTs, I find all NFTs gross. I'm eating. Well, look, I'm trying to just give you an analogy here. Stick with me.
This guy's treated convos with both Practo and Teague. Just constantly keep going, keep asking, prodding. That's going to bring us into our next part. That's how the conversation goes. But truthfully, people like Bray are also connected to crypto groups. And those groups are connected and run by people like this guy, Cooker Flips. And he is the founder of Pastel Alpha, which is a crypto trading group where they give people suggestions on like what cryptocurrencies to buy. In my experience, I've been in crypto for quite a while. These types of groups lose you money because the people running
this name is crazy.
The groups are the first to buy crypto. And if you buy first and you dump on the guy that buys second, well, that guy's stuck holding your bag and then needs to get someone to buy at a higher price.
I see a blue check mark like this. I know it's time to get off Twitter. This or Yoxic?
He bought in. So the people that often start these groups have a lot of purchasing power. They'll buy heavy into the crypto ahead of time at very low cost. And then when you come into the group and get the suggestion,
they bet against me. Shopify Rebellion Black versus Core. Match winner. Maji de.
They're looking for the chart to bump up. They can then kind of slightly sell off onto you, and then you're left holding the bag.
Thank you, the 20 gifted the treehouse. I appreciate that. One step closer to being young, dumb, and rich like Bray.
I don't really have insight into their crypto group, but I do know that this guy has made some serious bets on these challenger games.
Damn, they're betting on Burger Boys every
serious
time.
bets on Burger Boys of all teams. Wow, that is surprising. And what do you know? They're actually playing Blue Otter. That's the team that Fair plays for. So wow, this is so coincidental. And what do you know? He put 30 grand on this game. Holy moly. And also a 2-0, 30 grand. He must have felt really confident about that one. So looking through what's left of some of the stuff on Cooker's profile, you can see a little bit of how this guy operates, right? What's going to happen here, and what you're going to notice, is he actually has some legitimate bets. And what that's all about is, truthfully, he's just washing the money. Think Breaking Bad Walter White, the car wash, right? This guy's trying to take this illegitimate money that is only coming in from challenger games and make it look like he's also making money on other things. Because if you only made millions of dollars on challenger games and you didn't also, lose some on coin flippy VCT games that you're just kind of guessing on, well, then it would look really weird. I speculate
that's how they keep the casino hooked. They're counting cards, but after counting the cards, they chuck a couple of grand on roulette, and the casino's like, all right, no worries there.
That he's kind of washing some of this money, but you can see his profit margins have just got insane in some of it.
God is good. God is great. Brother, for one damn second, read the Bible. The Bible hates rich people when they use their means for only themselves. Might be Muslim. That's the sect that's the most about that shit. Maybe not sect. What do you call it? Group? I'm pretty sure it's haram to borrow money. Even borrowing money is haram.
He's just giving money away all of a sudden on Twitter. Everyone's getting giveaways. And this is an expense for him because he's building his brand, actually. So with free money that he's getting from challenger games. He did bet here on Prosperity, and we do know a thing or two.
No, it's not. I'm telling you, I'm right on this one. Oh, okay. Wait, hold up. It's a loan that's haram because the interest is the haram part. All right, I appreciate that. I appreciate that correction. JB Nasty, thank you to 20 gifted. So I guess any realistic way you would borrow money. I guess borrowing money from a friend's chill. But getting any money from official routes.
Prosperity, according to...
Thank you very much. That's what I give. Appreciate that.
That's interesting. They beat our team. you might notice that he has some notable followers, such as Josh RT. And when I saw this, I couldn't believe it, right? I was like, why is Josh following this guy? And so I did indeed get Josh in a call, and I am pretty happy to say I'm fairly confident Josh RT is actually very unlucky in this whole thing, right? They basically reached out and they tried to give him free access to the crypto group. They said it's a very expensive service, and they use him as almost kind of like an advertising method. So right here, you can see him, you know, basically flaunting his open DMs on the stream, live for everyone to see.
What rank am I in Val? I'm ass. I think I'm like silver or bronze. I don't play Val, like seriously. I don't have time to like, you know, I don't have time to put any effort into these
Just
games.
say your ass, man. Why is he's pussyfooting around? Your ass. You're bad. You're bad at the game. It's not about lack of effort, lack of this, lack of that. You're bad at the game. That's okay. You've made millions scamming people. That's fine. You got the bag, but you're ass at Valorant. Just say it how it is. I'm tired of people pussyfooting around. It gives the same energy as people in school who are like, yeah, nah, I got like B's and C's, but if I applied myself, I'd have straight A's. Well, you don't.
Games anymore?
Your ass.
Like, no point.
No point. I mean, silver, bronze, doesn't really fucking matter. This guy is just a savant when it
I'm not ass at Valorant, chat. I'm diamond.
comes to picking NA Challenger games. Coin flippy ones too, on the underdogs. He loves the underdogs. It's like that IQ bell curve. This guy's so far on the left, he's like on the right side with the geniuses. I'm stuck in the middle. I'm getting cooked out here. Why are they betting tens of thousands of dollars on tier 2 Valorant matches when you're bronze and silver? Yeah, why? You don't understand the game, and you don't even have time to play. Well, I think we know why.
The money vacuum.
Valorant used to have a lot of money in its peak. At its peak, around like 2020, you know, early quarantine days to 2022, there were so many orgs.
Yep.
And to show that, you can actually go to the subreddit. These are some of the orgs that we've lost since franchising. That is a lot of logos.
That is so
I am
many
literally
logos.
getting nerd chills looking at this. These are teams that I co-streamed, I casted when I was a caster, orgs that paid.
Dude, these logos, I mean, some of these are just so butt. Some of these logos are so butt. Damn, I forgot how ass some of these logos were. My Lord. The Griffin E-Sports. That's kind of fire. Geek fam. That's like the fucking geek part, huh?
Serious salaries and have great backing. As you go on, there's just less and less paying opportunities in this space. And what that does is it creates an absolute vacuum of what these guys just sunk in thousands of hours to get paid for. You learned how to be a pro gamer in Valorant, and now there's no money in the scene. And you might miss out on a lot of opportunities in those years that you were doing that. You might have put a relationship on hold. You might have put school
Education
on hold. You
on
might have
hold.
put an important job on hold.
Yep.
You took huge risks thinking that the scene would be what it was.
He's true about all
why
this.
wouldn't it at least look somewhat like that? Especially with VCT coming around the corner, right? I mean, VCT's only been around for like 2 years, but the presence of VCT and how all those challenger orgs were trying to get to VCT,
Blank
once
ain't
they
singing the prime.
realized the difficulty and challengers of making it, the actual likelihood of that one team that ascends per region, and just the likelihood of your challenger team doing that, holy, it's
What's going on is pro pay dog shit now. I think there's a league minimum for pro pay, so it's not dog shit. I think it's a completely livable wage. The issue is if you're not a tier 1 pro. So if you're a tier 2 pro, there is no league minimum, and several people aren't getting paid at all because there's no org that would pay them. They're getting paid because they're just a group of 5 people playing games together through prize pools or something. So there is no money, you know, coming in. Yet there are some people who do have money in, So like you need to still be at a high enough level, grinding enough that it is your full-time job. JB Nasty, thank you the 10 gifted. Appreciate that. So anyway, that makes things a bit harder. How much of the prize pool goes to the players usually? Usually 100%. It depends on the esport. For most esports, it's 100%. For some esports, like maybe Dota, it's different, but I don't know. But also, there's not that many tournaments, I think, for prize pools if you're in Challengers Tier 2.
It's rough. Obviously, at this Tier 2 level, a feeder league, it's a pillar that's required in any kind of sport, right? Think of like collegiate basketball, collegiate football, anything like that. In traditional sports, they all have these type of circuits to feed up into the pro league where people are taken care of in the lower leagues. That is no longer the case in Valorant, and it's created this vacuum. The veterans that got used to that money are now desperate, right?
Here's what happened with Valorant, man. The issue with Valorant is that when it first started, there were no official teams, right? Anyone could make a team. They could try to get the 5 best players that they thought would work together well and hope that they would win. And tournaments were like kind of free for all. You know, it was just like CS. Yeah, you could make it and qualify into a tournament. If you qualified in, you could be in this major and then you could feasibly win it. And then, you know, after running that ecosystem for a little bit, Riot was like, okay, we are going to like start our own league and there's going to be these teams in those leagues. So now those teams get to go to all the tier 1 events. If you weren't a part of that, there was basically only one viable strat, which was try to win tier 2 and make it to tier 1 on the guest spot. So where it went from before, which was teams qualifying and everyone competing to make it to the tier 1 event, now everyone is competing for the chance of one of them making it to a tier 1 event. So what happened over years after the franchising started is teams left because it's a big gamble, right? To hope that you are the first place team because there's a big chance that it doesn't work out. You know, the bottleneck is tiny. It's a good way to put it. So teams gave it a year, maybe 2 years, and then they all left. And even the teams that did win and move on to tier 1, they also left, like the Guard, because the cost for being a franchise team is really expensive. There's a huge initial cost. It's like a few $1 million. So basically the only winners in Valorant are the teams that were chosen for the franchising spot when they started the league. They are the winners. They won. They get skins in game to make money off of. They're in the premier side of esports, which will get the bulk of the viewership. They are the winners there. The losers is everybody else. Everyone else, straight up the losers. And that's kind of how it's been. Wyatt today said there's about 250 tier 1 Valorant pros. Tier 2 has almost 850 with no funding to pay them. The minimum 50K in pro play. Thus, corruption. It would cost Riot roughly $45 million per season minimum. Yeah, and I understand Riot's logic. Like, Riot should want a league to be able to stand on its own legs, right? If they are subsidizing the league, that can only last for so long. This is what happened in League of Legends. They were subsidizing like the academy side of things. And eventually they were like, okay, this is just a fucking money sink. What are we doing? So they stopped doing it. I think the issue is they didn't set up the ecosystem to survive on its own. I think they could have, but they didn't. They didn't.
Created a lifestyle around expecting that kind of income. You might be locked into some kind of apartment lease. You might be living a lifestyle with a partner that you can no longer live at all because you can't even get paid, period. And the young, inexperienced talent, the pros who haven't really
50 gifted on YouTube from JB Nasty. Thank you. The 50 gifted JB Nasty. YouTube gifts going crazy today.
learn their lesson. They're the ones being targeted the most. People like Braid now have you by the balls, though. If you throw that
got
one
you by the
game,
damn balls.
if you listen to him,
all right, let's
you
go
are
on.
then on the
Evidence.zip. Oh my God, evidence.zip. This is a Melee crossover.
Question's going to be, how did I stumble into this? Truthfully, it all started with that loss against Blue Water. I don't know, it didn't sit well with me when I signed off the co-stream. So I went back that night and I rewatched. Damn,
he's got great deltoids.
I have rarely in my career, I can't even remember times where I've got out of a game and I thought the other team was cheating in some kind of way. I believe it to be a loser mentality, and it will hinder growth in any kind of competitive sport. So I try not to cope and use these things as excuses. And honestly, I don't think I ever have in my whole career. But this match was different. I was very confident. The coaches were very confident coming into this match. And I'm looking at this and I just couldn't believe it all. Like, this team caught so many timings and they beat our team, who came into this match very, very prepared. Honestly, super prepared for a lot of the stuff Fair ended up doing even. But he just caught immaculate timings across the map, took space in ways that I've never seen anyone take space while using zero utility. So that's when I decided, okay, I have to dive into this, Blue Otter game against Burger Boys. What I'm about to show you is bizarre. Now, what you're going to notice here is Bob over here at Dish, send it. Absolutely send it. I don't know if I've seen anyone do this. She runs it down and drones from this aggressive spot, the stealth drone on Teo. Now, this drone is seen by everyone. It sees the Cypher, it sees people in the deep lines. And so you would think that Bob solo Dish and no one around to push would just respect that and let it go.
Yeah.
No, not at all. Bob sends it. The gun isn't even out when you look at Bob through the wall. And on your screen, that's Fair. I just watched this one round and I couldn't even believe it. I mean, this looks absurd.
Sausage. The drone actually only sees the Cypher.
Absurd.
Still, I still throw a sausage. I don't understand. Basically, he's saying Teo was very aggressive because usually there's a fight at this point on the map. There's a fight here because these players are able to swing here at the same time these players are able to swing here. So this is usually a contested space. But rather than actually check to see if it's contested, he just ran up confidently to this point and used the drone from here, which is a lot more space taken unsafely. And then the drone, he's saying, caught this guy and these guys, which this is contested by the players. The players are saying it did not catch these guys. It only caught these guys. And then he swung out and got fucking murked. And he swung out without his gun.
Absurd.
So this is Bob. Basically, I think the implication is Bob might be throwing.
And so again, at this point, I'm pretty interested. It keeps getting crazy.
I was referring to Teo. I think Teo's a he.
Round 6. Again, they're just...
I don't know who Bob is.
Sending it. They're just sending it. Look, knife out. Like, what? You're playing against a Breach Teo Neon. I mean, this is insane. Why are they not counter-utiling is what I'm thinking. So, they're just sitting here. I mean, Bob hits some miraculous shots, I'm not going to lie, to get those 2 kills.
Some god shots.
But then you keep watching, and you can see, even though there's a neural theft, even though 3 people were spotted, or I'm sorry, 2 extra people were spotted Dish, they end up getting that kill on Zeke, who into them. But if you watch Brimstone, watch Zoe Stoll, running with knife out right now. So they get the spike, running knife out. The gun isn't even out. Now, that is crazy.
Dude, throwing on this goofy-ass music is crazy. It's like him trying to go through the minute details of how this could be fixed. Don't think.
That's crazy. I'm just baffled at this point. I cannot believe what I'm seeing. And this is when I started to realize I don't even think this is a one-person thing anymore. Bob in A main, I'm not even sure what Bob's doing here. Truthfully, like maybe changing the angle of her jiggle, but there's no support. And they're playing a Neon that could run her down. And, I mean, watch how this plays out.
Maybe she's
so
just
she chickles out wide,
the game.
immediately gets stunned, peeks out, dies. This guy peeks out, dies. And, you know, the round's literally just over.
Maybe
this
she's
ult
ass
is
like
just
you would not believe. Maybe
crazy
she
to
is
me.
the Valkyrie of this shit.
There's no way that this feels like a good idea. And then the next part of the play is even more wild. So he goes for the Neon, which obviously is just going to run away and live. Even though the Neon had 1 HP, he boombots through the smoke to give away his spot.
Fucking
now
narcs.
look
Everyone
at where
goes, clip it. Yep. And we're sending that one array, Ludwig. Yep.
these other two players are here. Do you think those players can trade? Do you think those players can do anything? Of course not. Now this is
I don't know how to distill this if you don't play Valorant. Basically, he's going through a series of coincidences of somebody playing incredibly poorly on a game that was bet on by somebody who is known to match fix. And the bet did hit, and the claim was made that Burger Boys does have throwers. So this is, in Sean Garris's mind, an example of the throwing. Because it's quite hard to have definitive proof in these private conversations who exactly is throwing. Sorry, Blue Otter is the throwers. Excuse me, my bad. I didn't mean, I misspoke. That is correct. Burger Boys won the match. Blue Otter threw the match. So that is the. Is it that obvious? No, I think other pros would leave with, hey, this is a series of coincidences of people being bad at the game. But if there are 3 coincidences within the course of a match, that's statistically significant. That's a statistically significant amount of coincidences. If the same person is throwing and they're a pro player, that would be significant enough that you'd want to look into it further.
This is the guy that was insta-killing everyone on my team. It doesn't even look like the same person right now. This looks like the same person took horse tranquilizers. Then we get to round 18. I mean, things are getting a little close, so it would be kind of crazy if they won this round and got to 9-9. But
maybe they were sleepy. So you can say that, but it is definitive that there are people betting on matches. That is a fact. That's one fact. Thank you, the 50 gifted, Hakanto on YouTube. Oh my God, YouTube's going fucking crazy today. I haven't got one damn Twitch Prime from the Twitch fucks, but these YouTube frogs, I love them dearly. Thank you, the 50 gifted. Appreciate that deeply. All right, here's the facts. Okay, tier 2 matches are being bet on. People are winning these matches. People are throwing these matches. Like, you can kind of take those all as fact. There's claims that people are throwing, and the people who are saying people are throwing are also winning bets. So I think we can believe it to be true that there are people throwing. Now, from there, you have to play a bit of a puzzle game on who actually is the one throwing. You have it maybe narrowed down to a couple of teams based off of a source. Yeah, Rain, thank you, the 20 gifted on YouTube. Damn, YouTube chat's going crazy. W's in YouTube chat. Appreciate it. Thank you, JB Nasty, for the 20 bucks. I am human. Okay, usually you don't have to say that. So anyway, look, you could very easily watch any of these individual clips, say, this is coincidence, this person just playing bad, so on and so forth. It does not remove the fact that there are people who are betting on matches, getting insane amounts of payouts in a way that is unprecedented and can almost assuredly only be done by insider knowledge, aka people throwing matches.
you have to win 2-0.
Thank you, Anna, for the 20 gifted on YouTube.
So, we are in crunch time right now. We must lose, but we have some good util in this comp. So what are we going to do? Well, we can't make it too obvious. We're going to satchel in. We're going to plant immediately. We're going to fake. We're going to kill this Cypher.
What if they're innocent? So Sean Garris is not a legal entity. Sean Garris is not the owner of the IP. Sean Garris is raising attention to this, presumably so that the people who can do something about it, aka Riot Games, does something about it. That's it. That's what I'm assuming the goal is here.
Spike goes down. Now this is where things get
It's influencing people's reputations. I think that's a fair point, and that's a very scary path for Sean to navigate. I would say this: like, I don't think Sean has said Bob is outright a cheater. Maybe that comes up later. I would argue maybe she's not cheating. She is ass. At least based on this game, she's butt. She's damn butt at this game. So, I think the result is the same. If you are, it's all about the ends, not the means. She probably needs to be off a team either way.
Absolutely insane. Now they have 3 power ults here. Zeke, the Breach, decided it would be an incredible idea to run out of main right here.
That's mean. Who said I was nice?
And just shoot his classic and die. Fair plants. And honestly, it has a decent idea for what would be called like a zoning ult in pro play. I actually don't feel like Fair's play in this particular scenario is horrible at the pro level. You know, pulling the ult out to stop the insta flood, giving some time on the post for your teammates to reposition. Also, not a bad ult to shoot. If Practo wasn't full HP, this is a kill. So, hits Practo very low. Now, you might be wondering, how do they lose this post plant with all of this utility?
They got a nade. They got a boom bot.
It's almost like you can't even
They got a
defuse the
molly.
spike if these guys just layer their utility properly. So let's see. Here we go. We have the Brim Molly landing.
A little early.
That'll shave off quite a bit of time. The boom bot comes out. That makes him, aware that no one's coming from this side, so he can watch the other side. It's pretty normal. You have Bob playing deep with Teo ult. Okay, we have double ult still. It's kind of crazy. The tap comes in. The Teo ult happens. You can see Fair now ignoring Arcade. Okay, gets killed in the side of the head. Now they immediately Brim ult without waiting for the next tap. I mean, you can even see where the Teo ult is right there. Yeah, if this happened in a vacuum, I would be inclined to believe that it was an accident. And if also it happened to a team that hasn't had players playing challengers for multiple seasons now, I would think, okay, maybe that's an accident. But again, we have to just keep seeing it.
All right, I'll give you the league. Someone asked for the league interpretation of what happened. Basically, you caught the ADC out with a Morgana Q, and then your jungler, Amumu, ulted at the same moment after seeing the Morgana Q. So the CC did not properly chain. Okay, the CC did not properly chain. Tristana got out. And you're like, how did we fuck that one up? That was a gimme. You just pressed the R button slightly later.
Fair dies tower. These 3 are taking the site. Both of the ults have been wasted. So what are we going to do? Well, we still have missiles. So holy shit. This is actually great. Let's see what's happening over here. Bob just sitting there. Stun out. Somehow misses the stun here. Gets run down. Dies. The Brim is literally just sprinting over here. Completely out of the play. And that person dies too. 10-8. It felt like an unlosable round, actually.
That is a crazy
Let's see what
round
happens on the very following round.
Real shit, that is a crazy round to lose. That's insane. This is a normal human interaction, definitely not a robot. Absolutely no wires. Okay, JB Nasty, you saying that makes me feel like, okay, thank you.
Did see that
Ludwig is a slightly funnier ChatGPT. They call that Claude nowadays.
That Neon had an op. I think we all saw that, right? And an impro player typically watching people as they run around at the end of the round. So you definitely want to use some util, especially when you have all this util in this comp. So let's see what they do. It's a good time for your IGL to take a nice jump spot.
Ooh.
Oh.
Just hard swinging.
There goes our smokes. What are we going to cook up now? You can see they missile out main. It's actually so fun to watch. They Vice ult because, why not? Let's waste all of our ults on rounds that we can't win.
All right, I'm going to skip this game. I think I get the idea. Let's go next.